Hello, everybody.
Can you hear us?
Who's
who is in the house? Hey, President. Welcome. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
How y'all doing?
Hey,
Welcome to the
squad.
show.
Let us know if you can hear us in the
If
comment
you can
section.
hear us, please let us know.
And hit the like button.
Common sense, eh? Hit the like button if you're here.
Lizzie. Hey, Lizzie. Welcome to today's
show.
How is everyone doing? My accent will be fluctuating in today's video. Yeah.
Why? Because you're looking good.
Because I don't know. I just feel that way, eh?
You're looking good.
Lick your teeth. That's good.
That's good, eh?
I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry.
Hello, everybody. We know African time. Africans. 2 p.m. sharp.
It's not only African that
I'm sorry. The world. Global citizens. 2 p.m. 2 p.m.
We're here. If you are here, there are 7 people watching. Please hit the like button. Smash the like button. Call your friends.
So that
your family.
Everybody that you know.
Your
neighbors,
trolls. Your enemy. Your choir.
Everybody, right? Everyone where you know.
Because today is
going to be
them in. Okay, thanks for letting us know, Amaka, that you can hear us. That's good.
You.
Bring them in today.
We're serving you from a mansion. I hope you like our mansion.
I mean, it's intentional parenting, right? It's intentional parenting.
Home.
Yes. So, I think we can get in with our regular scheduled announcement.
So as we usually do it on the show, you already know what to do, the rules and regulation of our live videos. For the squad, number 1, be respectful, be open-minded, stay on topic, don't use bad words, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, like and share the video. If you're new to the squad, thank you for joining us today. You can check out our About page to learn more about the Common Sense Sisters and the Common Sense Squad. Also visit our community page. That's where we'll post regular updates. You can visit the playlist to watch more videos in our section for you. And you can follow us on social media. That's what it do, baby.
How many of you participated in the community quiz?
Poll.
The poll. That poll is the poll. It's not poll. I don't know. Poll or poll. P-O-O-L. The voting poll where we had the questions. Because it's very, very important. Today's topic is on intentional parenting. You, the Common Sense Squad, you people asked for this topic, and we are here to serve. Okay, we appreciate all the Common Sense Squad members. We appreciate you all, the new ones coming in. Those will be watching later. You know
what it do. We see you.
We thank you and we appreciate you. Right?
Should I go straight to the screenshots of today?
Yes, I think screenshots of today.
Okay, so we had 3 questions for this week's topic. The first one, nobody really commented, but you would liked it, yeah. Anyways, it was, what does intentional parenting mean to you? Answer as a parent or a child in the comments. This is number panel section. So if you see posts like this, please be commenting.
It's important to comment. Okay? Don't look at it and just click the like and be going.
Like it and comment.
It has to be interactive. Okay.
Right. Next, we had another one where we asked, does the society and culture dictate or impact how you raise your child or children? 36% of 11 people said sometimes, while 64% said, no, I create my own parenting style. And finally, does intentional parenting mean parenting your children the way your parents parented you? And 5 people voted no. So So that's what the votes of today is. So I know some of you do not know. Today is International Children's Day. So happy International Children's Day to all the wonderful children in the world, all the Common Sense Squad kids, those who watch our videos. Happy International Children's Day to me because I'm somebody's child.
Because you're somebody's child.
Yes, I'm somebody's child.
But you're an adult.
It don't matter.
But you're an adult right now. So this is for all the Common Sense Squad kids and children that watch our show. We appreciate you all, right? And we hope that you have a wonderful day. We know that some of you, your parents don't know that today is International Children's Day. So go and tell them that today is International Children's Day. They owe you ice cream, okay? Okay, and we're talking about today's topic.
Okay, I guess we can start on.
I think we can start on the topic. I don't think we will.
And Attorney John from Texas.
Yeah. The original attorney. We greet you. We greet you. You take a screenshot of this thing. Well, today, we're looking at today's topic, right? Obviously, we are not parents.
We're talking from the point of view of.
So we are only going to talk from our point of view as kids. And I want to believe that I'm still, I am a product of intentional parenting. That if not, why you think why you enjoying the common sense?
We don't pluck it from the sky.
The foundation is based upon the intentional parenting of our parents.
Parents.
That's why we're useful to society, including our own way of, developing ourselves.
You know what they do?
So basically, we talk today, since it was today's topic, as usual, we go and do our research. Do you put the screenshots there? Okay, maybe later on.
When you're talking,
so, and on Thursday, I was on one of the blogs. I went to the UNICEF, that took me to the UNICEF website. It says they did a research on different kids, right? And let me first of all talk about why, what the theme of International Children's Day is, which is for today. Ella will be pulling up the screenshots.
I'll pull up, carry on.
The theme according to United Nations for International Children's Day is a better future for every child, right? Children, young people are raising their voices on issues that matter to their generation, like us, what we are doing. And they're calling out for adults to create a better future, right? And as the world revolves around, we just passed through this whole pandemic. It's very important that we listen to children. And what better way to consider listening to children than being an intentional parent? We know that there's so many wonderful parents on our platform. We know that as time goes on, they're going to call into the show to share their experience, why they think they are intentional parents, and what they can share for other people to learn, both those that have children and those that would have children in the future.
Of course.
So according to UNICEF, they're inviting I think they're inviting advocates or whatever for youths to meet up and all this stuff, right?
So what's the gist of the article?
So the gist, basically,
I just have the screenshot on here for everybody.
Yeah, the gist of the article is based off of the research that they did. So you put on the screen. They say 1 in every 6 children in Nigeria is depressed. This made me sad. They did the research and they found that that's what the report showed. It says that they conducted the survey in conjunction with other groups, and then the Changing Project in Nigeria indicated that Nigerian children and adults are increasingly under the most pressure to succeed globally, right? Despite limited opportunities and support from the government. The report was released to commemorate with today's celebration, which is International Children's Day. And they said that over 21,000 adults and children were interviewed in 21 countries between February and June of 2021. So based on that, they had the age group from 15 to 24 years and people aged 40 and above. And there are other countries, but obviously we're focusing on Nigeria. Among the African countries on here were Cameroon, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Morocco, Ethiopia, Mali. They were all there, right? So basically, these are the findings, and it also coincidentally ties with our topic of today. Now, we have our own definitions, though, of what we consider intentional parenting. Ella, do you want to go for that?
I don't. For me, intentional parenting is being present in your child's life, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. You have to be there. Your presence has to be felt in their life. And your child has to see you as more than their parent. They have to see you as their friend, their coach, their counselor. As a parent who chooses to be intentional, you have to wear multiple hats. So that's what, to me, as a child, intentional parenting means.
Okay. Welcome, Samolu. Welcome. Everybody's coming into the house. We appreciate you all. And this intentional parenting, we want it for today's show to be personalized.
Yes.
So don't go and be Googling what is intentional parenting when you are a parent. You have to use
or you're a kid, yeah.
Or if you are a kid, what does intentional parenting mean to you? Because Google cannot give you the definition of who you are.
And Google is somebody else's.
And it's somebody else's idea, especially when it comes to this. So from our own perspective, I have some things to say.
We'll just say a few of them,
because we don't want to. We want
put out
to
the link, and you come in.
Yeah, and then talk, and then we'll have the questions that we would ask you. Okay. So basically, for me, as a child who is a product of intentional parenting, I would say one of the major things is words of affirmation, because it helps to build
things that intentional parents do.
Yeah. Words of affirmation always helps to build like self-esteem, listening to the kids and trusting the kids, telling them stories. Our parents were really big on telling stories. My mom would tell you, as it comes to her, she's telling you, she doesn't wait for the right age and time. No, our mother believes that, she doesn't know how long she's going to live on this earth. So let her deposit all the sense. However, it's going to be useful to us in the future, then okay, yeah.
Samolu reported you to us.
We knew you were partying last weekend.
We just hope that the baby shower that you went for, that the jollof rice will reach this Canada.
We hope so. We hope so. That's all. Yeah, having fun and traveling with the kids, being there spiritually for them, financially for them, emotionally. What else again?
All of it.
Physically, everything. Nurturing them, listening to them, allowing them to express their emotion. It could be fears. It could be cries. African parents answering questions.
Yes!
Answering questions and be open to debate. Family where I come from, we debate with our parents, especially our father. He likes to debate. So we will debate with him. I mean, I grew up.
Head on.
Point to point. Point to point. We'll debate in the house. And it's all fun and playing with your kids. Fathers and mothers playing with your kids. Just
don't see yourself as and your children are there.
What's your usefulness? Loving them, doing a lot of activities with them, yabbing them, let them also yab you, being interested in their school activities, and especially for African parents, being interested in
other activities beyond school and religion.
Their creative skills. So something like, if your kid like to play soccer, don't go and be press conking them.
In Warri, they used to beat them. They beat what?
For playing soil, your mates are in the class and all those things.
In the class. Now look at the situation of Nigeria. How many people that have graduated have come out with jobs? Is it not the arts that is really not really the country? That is keeping the country
stable. The name.
The music industry, the acting industry, the arts and craft. The people use their brain.
Yeah. Another thing is
sports activity.
Exactly. Another thing is acknowledging them, their efforts, correcting them in love, disciplining in love, teaching about kindness, teaching about respect, but respect that will not make them lose their voice or their self-esteem, teaching about values, gratitude, such as things like volunteering and all those things, stuff like that. Like
let them treat all human beings as equal.
Yeah.
Nobody not be say because this one is rich, then you bow down to this person, but because this person is poorer than you, then you will not treat them right.
Ethics and way of importance of giving.
Teach them about your culture.
Yes,
that's very, very important, because we are reaching the era of a great migration,
and people are losing their identity.
So your kids have to know where. If you had the opportunity of knowing where you come from,
why would you want to
deny your child that?
Tell them those stories. Create a Tales by Moonlight story, even if you are living in the abroad. Create it in your living room. Create it in your kitchen. Create it in the car when you pick them up from school. Cultivate the habit of gisting with your children. Cultivate the habit of hearing from you, letting them to trust you and knowing that they can count on you.
Yeah,
not for them to see you as soldier. I think
if your children are
afraid of you, there's something wrong with you as a parent.
There's a problem right there.
You're unstable as a parent. That's my own, because I think it was when I was in university I started hearing that
people used to call their father sir.
And people are afraid of their father. Why should I be afraid of my father? No, I love him and I respect him so much, but like to be afraid, no. They did not raise us that way.
For me too, you don't have to parent your children the way your parents raise you, because you hear some people saying, in my own time, when I did this, my parents beat me shamelessly. They do this because it was done to you. Doesn't mean you have to pass it to the next generation.
Exactly.
It's waste produce. Leave it in the toilets.
Another thing. Assy darling.
But I got people in the
house. Event planner extraordinary. We are welcome. Another thing is African parents and lie. I carry first.
I hope people watch our Father's Day and Mother's Day video because we drag them.
We drag the fathers.
We drag them by their gele and their cap.
We drag and their walking stick. For those that wear walking stick, we drag them.
Stop lying to your children. Not all of you were labor prefects for crying out loud.
When you are a father, you fail woefully. Woefully. Quantitative reasoning, you fail.
No reason there.
Even
verbal reasoning.
Integrated science.
You are quaffing.
Only CRS now you pass.
Even CRS.
Then they have to
struggle. Then they used to pass CRS.
Instead of to tell your child the truth and say, okay, at this point, I'm not good at this area, my beloved.
I can see where your strengths are.
I'm going to look for extra lesson teacher. That's what they call them, in Nigeria. And everything is not book, and church, or mosque. Extracurricular activities.
Open your mind, your dream, and not your children's dream.
Thank you.
Those of you that could not enter inside medical school or law school, you will not be forced. Or and they say sometimes parents will be forcing their children into religious. This is so be priest and reverend sister.
And reverend sisters.
You don't enjoy pleasures of the world. You feel your own. Nobody did there. There's no social media to see what you've gone through. Then you now want to force your child to be doctor because if you were not doctor, there must be doctor in your lineage.
Or lawyer, or engineer, and not living. Not allowing your children to live in their purpose.
Samolu is saying one thing that he loves about his dad is that although he was a disciplinarian, but he put so much confidence in him.
Amazing.
He was the only one that never shuts him down when he keeps asking so many questions as a child, especially about religion. He was so open with you. Oh, God bless you.
Bless your
and
father.
Look at the
and we are benefiting from what your father is
look at it. Look at it.
The whole world is benefiting
look
from
at it. When you, I always say this thing, when you raise a child, you are not raising them for yourself.
No,
you are raising them for the world.
Yeah.
You are raising them for the world because they're going to be members of society. There's already a lot of pain and hurt and tragedy going on.
Yeah.
We don't need more human beings experiencing that kind of pain.
Yeah.
That's what intentional parenting is needed for.
Please smash the like button, okay?
Yes.
Then this one is for the diasporan parents. When I was in boarding school, some of you will be shipping your children to the boarding school because you say you want to give the African discipline.
You say they are stronger at home, they go iron them. Because they are clots now. You might as well use spray stash to be spraying them.
If the children are overweight, they go lose weight. You will not come for their visiting
they
days.
Lose weight that time for school. They lose weight.
You will not come for your child's visiting day. You will not write letters to your child. To your children.
You don't know what
you don't tell them that time. Not even GSM like that. You will not even tell them that you love them. You will not make out time to come and visit them to create memories with them. You don't do that. You will be stuck. You think you are working there, brother. I ship my child, then let my sister take care of her, let them stay with their grandmother. And all those years that you as a parent are supposed to bond with your child, especially those teenage years. Very trying times.
You see, from age 0 to 16,
very, very tough.
To 16.
I saw that my mother used to tell me when I was growing up. That time she would say, "You have only 10 years to even invest the foundation, because after that, the child belongs to the world."
Event planner of the year is saying, even though I was afraid of my dad, because he was strict, he was a strict disciplinarian. Deep down, I knew it was out of love. Now we also think there's a difference between discipline and corporal punishments. Because some parents will carry their children to police to be flogged.
No, those parents that will also be carrying your child's issues to your
religious leader,
to your pastor and all those things. We are dragging you here.
We will be dragging you subsequently.
Your mates who are parents, we have amazing parents on Anthony John, there's Assy Darling, there's Samaka, there's Samolu. Parents, they are coming.
Oh my God.
They will drag you, your mates. You're not going to see on a mate. We go drag you.
Those of you that are parents, you'll be asking your children, look at your mates too. Do they have 2 heads?
All those parents, look at also your mates. Do you have to
comparison as well? All right, do not dish what you cannot take as a parent. Your children are human beings. Even sponge, after so much water, it will begin to leak. So if in the day, after many years of your abuse that you've had to your children and they explode, don't be asking, say, a baby winch my child. These are years of unintentional parenting.
Raising based on gender equality. Not be say your girl child will be washing and be ironing clothes of our brothers. The brother goes sit down.
Have you cooked dinner for Nnamdi, your brother?
Chigozie not be man name.
Chigozie is unisex.
It's unisex. Oh,
Chidinma.
Why are we using Igbo name? Angela,
have you cooked for
John or Mark?
You know?
Have you laid his bed?
Have you laid his bed?
Those your sons will now grow up to be
hooligans.
Husband materials that will not be useful in marriage.
Human beings in general. Some of them might never get married.
You can those ones, some of them, the children, when they go to university, they cannot even do laundry.
We see them now.
They'll be acquiring girlfriends.
Human beings.
Then that's how their mothers will be following them inside marriage. Oh, my son.
My son.
Raise them to be independent, to boy and girl. And parents, African parents, be reading books. Some of you don't read books.
If it's not WhatsApp, they're not reading it too.
Be reading books to enlighten yourself. Look for groups where you can learn from people and also share, because nobody's an island in this ministry. We will soon be dropping the link.
Another good thing. Now, 15 people here, please. I hope the likes are matching the 15 people that are here.
Yeah.
So another thing that I think I don't forget to say I won't talk now. Because of it, the like button.
Because of it, the like button. Parents that will be sending their children as housemaid and houseboy and housegirl.
And you will be reproducing. This is not the era. You know, in those days they will be
15.
saying they will be producing many children because of farm. You don't have a farm. You are not an agricultural person. You are born.
Agriculture is industrialized now. Robots.
You are born in anyhow, so that your children will be used as
girl, or to be doing black tax.
You are mad. Yeah, you are mad.
So please don't be doing all those things. Parenting is not only a mother's job. Fathers, we are dragging you here today. Those fathers that are not supporting, that are not helping.
I want to help my wife with the kids.
What do we help? Is it not your seed that you put inside your wife's body?
Now, wow.
Yesterday was International Men's Day. Happy International Men's Day.
Yes, so to the men in the house, common sense squad in arrears.
Yes, happy International Men's Day in arrears or something. Yesterday was International Men's Day. Fathers in the house, that you will not be helping in the home. You come
because you're a man. My responsibility.
They will come back, throw away their shoe, throw away their khaki, spread their stinking leg, and put on soccer to watch. Where's my food? I'm not putting it at the microwave.
Don't mind it.
Am I supposed to do that? One neck. How dare you tell me to one microwave? You know why I am?
They talk nonsense. Yeah, you see, and also parents have to put up a united front.
Yes, in front of their children, so that the kids don't manipulate you to be doing favorite or not.
Our parents are like this. Hey! If you go and ask daddy for something, you ask, have you spoken to mommy about it? No, not yet.
If you go and report my mother to my father, he will say, is that what happened? You know, whatever your mother does is out of love. You are losing the battle. If you also want to report my father to my mother, there is no win-win. So as children, we knew that we cannot come in between them.
Yes, the battle is lost.
We are just options in the marriage.
We're fruits, we're not options.
No, we're fruits in the marriage. This is how I know. Because when that time that they will be traveling from Kaduna, every weekend, then my father was working in Kaduna, he would travel to Warri by road. We buy a lot of food stuff. You drive through Okene, bush meat in Ekpoma Road. Daddy, we buy fruits. We bring everything on Friday.
He did not say it's a woman's job to be buying.
Our beloved father, we buy for the family. We buy for the tenants that we had. We even buy for other people. You know, we bring home. So my father comes home every weekend, despite the long distance of work and all those things. We live in Warri at that time. One day, I asked my father, I say, is it because of us, your children, are coming back home? He said, no.
I believe you go back.
No, it is because of my wife. That of course I love you, my children.
Children in the mud.
My papa. So
yes, so they gang up against us.
So our parents.
Wow.
That's something. I'm not yet a parent, but that's something I will take into my marriage.
Yeah. So for example, now if you're a single parent or something, show a united front to, or even if you're a double.
All like the children will be manipulating you and all those type of things. Anyways, we'll be putting the link in very soon so that people can come and talk, and we'll let you know the questions that you have to answer. You want to send you this one?
I have it.
The question that you have to answer.
Any other stories? I wanted to put up a story too. As I'm putting it up, be taking of story to tell you.
Well, I don't know story of any other flogging. African parents and flogging. Koboko. Those of you that in those days we used to have all those woods near the ceiling where when you see your mother climbing up, to go and collect that cane.
You already know what to do.
Flog. This is not the era of
even
cane.
The wicked people when they sell the cane for market, hooligans.
And some African parents know that the skinny cane is more painful than the fat cane.
Why?
Yes. So please, this is not the era of caning your child. Sit down and have a conversation. I know that our father does this a lot. He will sit down, he will have conversations with you from beginning to the end. Family meeting is also very important. Family meeting. You cannot overlove your child. Love them, because so that when they go out and see what they call love in the world, they can differentiate between lust and love, using and manipulation, because they've experienced authentic love.
Another thing for me, trust your children.
Oh, you have to.
If you're having trust issues, go and read Michelle Obama's book on becoming. And see the trust her parents had in her and her brother.
Yes.
You have to trust your children and see them as human beings. See them as human beings. So, human beings, they have feelings. Let me go and be finding the link.
Yeah, so we'll find the link, we'll put it there so that people can come and you will have to answer the question. We'll put up the question there so you follow it like sequentially.
I don't have okay. You'll be asking the question.
Let me send it to the let me airdrop it. Okay. So another thing is that those of you in the diaspora that can speak the language, your local language.
What is pankere?
Pankere?
What is pankere?
Pankere? I don't know whether na cane no.
Whoever is watching us from Facebook, thank you. I see your one like.
Thank you. I don't know what is pankere, and that's it. That's the question.
Pankere?
I don't know.
Neka, please, what's pankere?
Those of you that are in the diaspora, that you will not be speaking the language that to your child. Your mates that are Asians, Middle Eastern, they are speaking the language. In fact, let me just tell you something that happened. Yesterday in the office, there was a client that came to the office and she did not understand English. So they were looking for someone that can speak Afrikaans, a translator that they were willing to pay. As a black girl now, they asked me, I said, I not sabi speak Afrikaans, so because I'm Nigerian. But they are going to pay whoever was going to translate that. They finally found
bilingual. That's what it.
Your language is very, very important, because there are some things that even if in public you want to admonish your child in love, when you speak the language, they will understand. It's between you and them. Language is power. Language brings people together. Language is part of the identity, and we have a lot of them. Let them know how to speak the language. If you're a parent and you don't know how to speak your language, pick up Pidgin English.
Yeah.
Pidgin English. We suggest that one to you. Have you found the link?
So hey,
Shafi, how are you? Jeannie, this is Jeannie.
Oh, hi,
Jeannie from Texas.
Oh, we have a lot of Texans in the house today.
Jeannie from Ivory Coast. Jeannie from Texas.
Oh, Neka said it's cane.
Yes, Pankere is cane. So we want to look for the link so that you can put the link.
I have the link for the
so that the parents can come and talk. And then you advise your fellow adults.
Yes. Amolu said his parents always want.
Yes, my kids want to be manipulating that because I'm the software.
Myself and my
hardware. Yes, you have to put in United Front because children are so smart.
Yeah.
Because they know that they cannot come in between daddy and mom. They cannot manipulate all those things. Yeah, you have to strategize. This is what we know right from childhood, that we cannot come in between my parents. You know, our father will say, you people will go and marry and have your own family. It's only my wife that will be here with me. So please take it easy. That's what they say. So we have put the link there. Please kindly click on the link and come into the studio. You know, if you are a parent, please come into the studio and we would like to hear from you. And whatever it is you are going to share today, you are going to help a lot of us. Don't be ashamed to talk about your flaws. I've been a errors.
Flaws.
Your flaws. Don't be ashamed to talk about it, because it's all part of the learning process. And then after that, after we have a few people come in and talk about their story, then we will have the panel debates as we usually do to make it all well and fun. Please smash the like button. These are very important.
These are some of the questions that you'll be answering today.
Yeah, these are the questions you'll be answering today. So you have to follow through with it, right?
So our first guest is here. Do you want to introduce?
This our first guest.
Introduce quick now. Introduce quick now before
this our first guest is all the way from Texas. All the way from Texas. We have Attorney John Nwosu, all the way from Dallas, Texas.
Jesus.
We have Attorney John. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Hey!
Hi, Attorney John.
This is Attorney John Wonsu, all the way from Texas. This is not a bonge attorney. This is quality attorney with over 10 years experience. We know the Attorney John Wonsu family. And one secret you must know, this is the president's husband. Hey! So this is Amaka Wonsu's husband. Okay? And he's going to come in here and he will share his experience and talk about intentional parenting. Then we will have to ask the next people on the list. So, Attorney John.
Yes, common sense. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. That's for thank you guys for this. I mean, of course, the topic is very dear to me, and thank you guys for the introduction. Wonderful, and love being here with you. You guys are sisters, so I mean, I don't know. So thank you. I'm happy to be here, share my experience with my two boys, and of course, my experience with my wife raising our two wonderful boys. So I'm happy to be here.
We are here for it. We are here for it. We are here for it.
We are all ears, except if you want.
Whenever you are.
I didn't know. I'm on already.
Yeah, you are.
Everybody can see you.
Everybody can see you. Are you not seeing yourself?
Oh my God.
Everybody can see you. Everybody can see you.
We can see
I wasn't reading. Yeah, actually, it's warning me, so I didn't even read the screen. I thought I was talking to you guys privately. So well.
No. Everybody can hear.
No. It's good to be here. You guys, I mean, hit a lot of the points, you know, and I think I have issue with just one, but I'll get to it.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, I believe there is no gold standard for parenting. If there is, of course, we all will be, you know, put parenting on autopilot, you know, and so there's no, we all have different beliefs, cultural, otherwise, and how we were raised, where we believe may be the, you know, best. And of course, if you believe that your own is best, that's what you want to transfer and impact, you know, to your children. But honestly, parenting is for lack of a better way to put it, it's a relationship that really takes thought. You know, it takes self-sacrifice. You have to be intentional in everything you do. Love, compassion, all these things has to be involved and all combined. For that's how I look at parenting. And I know that one of the things both of you said, I didn't know there was a pool. I could have answered it. I'm definitely not raising my children as my parents raised me. You know, there is a lot of things I take from it, but I'm trying to, you know, in addition to transmitting what I got from my parents, every other thing I learn and what I want and what I believe and how I want my children to turn out. So those things are really very important. And I mean, you have to. Okay. All right.
Okay. So you ask.
So thank you so much for sharing that information. So we have the question on the screen, right?
Okay.
I know that obviously your beloved sons, they'll be the only one they can answer number one, but and also aside, you know. So these are the questions that you can answer. So the first one is: will your children see you as an intentional parent?
Yeah, do you think?
And
they'll lay hands down first.
Yeah, that's the question.
I can sense, of course, I don't query them whether they see me as one, but I can really sense that they do. You know, I can deduce that from, let's say, you know, like if I'm not there, you know, they're waiting for me. They will say, "Oh, are you going to bed?" No, waiting for daddy to put us to bed, because it's something that I do every single night. If I'm home, you know, so those things they'll say, "Oh," or if I'm leaving, I usually leave early to go to work. They have to go to school before 7:45, and sometimes, you know, my wife will be, you know, if my wife is around, if she's not out for a job, she'll be the one taking them. You see them once, they're like, "Daddy," you know, they'll be rushing to eat their breakfast so that I will drive them. So, you know, ride with me. So all those things make me, and of course, like, you know, a lot of times too, they will have a movie that they want to watch. They'll say, "Oh, Daddy, we're waiting for you to watch it with them," even though I may not care about it. But so all those things are the things that make me feel like they're probably, you know.
African parents, are you hearing?
Are you people hearing?
Have your children ever asked you to watch film with them?
When they rush their breakfast, is it because that you are shouting for them, or is
eat
it
like a soldier? Eat like, you know, some parents say, "Eat like a soldier, eat like a soldier."
Or it's because they cannot wait to get into the car with you, so that they can see your face as the last thing before they get into class, and you know, and all this stuff.
Before we even go to the next question, please, Attorney John is on YouTube. Kindly subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Yeah,
please.
And he's on all social media platforms. Attorney John is the only attorney that
he
I
does
know.
TikTok, Type Tuesday. Happy Tuesday time. We teach you how to not type.
That's Instagram Reels.
Instagram, Facebook. He has his website.
Amazing. You can check him out on Google. His reviews, they speak volumes. So that's it. So please, if you go and subscribe to his YouTube channel, those especially those of you that are in the US looking for quality attorney, this is the one that we are recommending.
This is not charge and bail. It's not lawyer by day, pastor by day. This one goes to cancel. Enough said for the wife.
The second question.
Second question.
So okay, you said you do not parent your children.
Yeah, you already
exactly
answered that
the same way your parents parented you. So what are some of the good things you take from the way your parents raised you that you carry on
to your children?
For me, and I know that you guys mentioned about using bankere or baranke, whatever they posted. And using that. I mean, I came from a big family. We were 8 of us raised all, and honestly, my father actually treated us, discipline wise, if I have to use, because I was one of those in my house. I wasn't really flogged. My father used to bring me in when I do something wrong and just talk to me. I hated that because I wanted to be flogged and let me go. But he would tell me stories. You guys talked about it. I wanted to be flogged and get it over with, but he would start telling me stories, and all those things. And sometimes he would tell me a story and he would fall asleep, and I'll still be waiting or kneeling down. At least I will kneel down when he's telling the story. But so one of and now, of course, being a child, you're hearing these stories over and over. It's not, it doesn't. You might think that you might not understand it, but once you grow, especially for me, once I grew honestly and have a children, I start to appreciate so many things that my father did for me, and so you start thinking about it like, okay, like I say, when we ride to the school, I always want to, it's time for us to chat. There's no time for them to be on the phone or anything like that. Time for us, that 5 minutes ride. We are talking, we are sharing things. I'm sharing something with them. And I want them always to send them off school by, hey, I love you. Those are the things that my wife taught me to do. And I love it, so that's the last thing they hear, so it's very important.
Parents, Attorney John. You people will pay for this information. No, this is not only parental advice, this is legal advice. Because
wait, you hear say some of the things that my wife taught me. Words of love to tell the children. I love you and all that.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
You are handsome. You are the best gift I
am going to do great. Attorney John tells his children every day. Blessings to you, sir. Right on. Blessings to you, because many of your mates, old and your mates are younger, they don't do it.
They will say that I'm raising them the way my father raised me.
They don't do it, and we appreciate you for being able to listen to your wife in that aspect, because there are some also African mothers that try to tell some African fathers that please be doing this for the children. They will like it, but some of them get coconut head. But now that you are saying it as a man to man, they will say, okay, Attorney John is doing it.
Let me also do it.
It's working. You can continue, sir. Yeah, I think we have the third question. Ella can put in the third
question.
The third question that we have.
He was answering everything as well.
Yeah. So what are some of the qualities and attributes of parenting children intentionally? Since you do that, what are some of the qualities?
Yeah. Well, I know you guys alluded to it too when you guys started talking about leading by example. Your children looks at everything you do. Honestly, they see it. Sometimes because you may be preaching one thing and doing the other. They know it. First of all, you're confusing them if you're doing that. And of course, sometimes we're like I say, let me go back to my wife when it comes to intention. Honestly, she's the most intentional person I know, and I say this not for anything. It's just like you all know her for a long time. So you know what I'm saying. Amaka doesn't. She tells you, she tells you how she wants to be loved, how she wants, you have to do it. When it comes to the kids, she is so intentional, and she made me a better parent, So that I'm trying to tell you, I couldn't do it because she's like, she is more when it comes to raising kids. I mean, like you guys talked about speaking the language to them. She don't even talk to our kids in English. You know, she talks to them only Igbo, and then if they don't understand him, they have to come to me, and then of course she blames me. That's why they're not very fluent. So far,
but is reporting himself.
Yeah, but you know that's you have to do that the way you act, and of course if you're a single parent, whatever you do even when you're on the phone, you know, and all those things, because a lot of times we give them work, we're on YouTube, we're on something, and while we expect it, and then every 10 minutes we turn around and start shouting at them for not doing what they're supposed to do. Meanwhile, we are not there with them, we are not present. You have to really be present. And then you guys also talked about it being in team, you know. You have to be in team with your partner if you have one, you know, because I don't know about you, but I remember when I was, you know, at 10, 11, 9, I probably think I'm the smartest person. I can manipulate my parents, you know. So you can imagine your kids also, you know, because they're your kids doesn't mean that they're not thinking that. So you have to really be in a team, even if you guys can go back in closed door and say, well, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with this. Let's find a better way to deal with it. But the children should never know that, you know. So that's the thing. And then another one is like what am I saying? Being consistent. Okay. Because you know that is one too, like, oh, you know, the one about being consistent is like you can't just punish them today, you know, and then tomorrow they do the same thing. You let it go, because first of all they're confused. You're not even setting a good example. So they have to understand that there are consequences for everything. So if there's no, be no. If you're saying, of course, don't over punish, don't do it. But discipline, you know. So the disciplining has to really fit the, you know, has to be discipline, not punishment. You know, so that's one of the things. But they have to be consistent in what you do and what you tell them. So and then another thing is like spending time with them is the most critical. You know, that is one thing I cannot overemphasize, because it's hard. It's one of the hardest things to do, because we want to looking for a perfect time. There's going to be a free time. No, you have to intentionally create it. You know, like intentionally create that free time with them. Go with them to whatever game that they're playing. Show up at their school. You know how it is. Like a lot of times, all of us default is like, oh, drop the kid to school. They get letters, PTA. The children are doing show and all those things. Generally, it's cultural thing, and I don't want to say that you know, people do it, but it's one of them. That's what some of us knew growing up, and then we just think about walking, going to work, and we forget like we can spend that 5 minutes. It means a lot to the children, but and also one of the things, sometimes people don't have option. You know, sometimes people have to be at work. So that one is different. You know, you can help it, but we have to. Like I try my kids, like our calendar. If you come to our bathroom, like the first thing we have there is their school calendar every month. And we know exactly what they're doing. We're planning it, who is going to be there, because it makes a lot of difference when you're a child. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, I can't detain. Also, talking about spending time with them. I mean, I think I can talk about that one so much. Being like movie, like I said, my kid will like, have you watched that movie? No, that I'm waiting for you. I'm like, okay, you know, it's not the best, but I will take out that 2 hours, you know, watch that movie with him, you know, have him. So those are one of the things you have to like schedule. Like when I go out, if I have to meet up with my friends for maybe just hang out with boys or my friends, I try to set it after 9:30. My kids go to bed before 9. Why do I do that? That way I spend that 30 minutes reading or watching them read and you know. So those things are the things I do. Sometimes I come back, I'm so tired, and like, okay, you know, Daddy, can you take us to bed? You know, like, you know, the first instinct is no, because I'm thinking about me. You know, but you know, I'm like, no, I gotta do that because the fact that they come to me. So it's really okay. Yeah.
You're an amazing father. We know you and Amaka personally. That's why we're so happy that you created time, because you gave us this time slot that you're going to be available, because we wanted you to be here. We wanted you to share your story. We wanted fathers, especially African fathers, to hear from a fellow African father, because hardworking.
Because some people will put excuse and say, "Oh, my work takes all the time," but you create your schedule around your children. That's the intentional thing that we are talking about,
and that's what makes you different.
And put them, even creating that schedule, like put them, you know, because the thing is, like you said a lot of things. Kids in school, they don't know how to do laundry, all those things, because a lot of us too. We grew up, you know, if you have some kind of, you know, formative years in Nigeria, we grew up having those, if you're from middle class in Nigeria, have those, and then here we feel like, okay, we're comfortable. We don't think, our kids will be 12 years old, 13 years old, we're still doing their laundry. Like school, like my kids during the summer, they have all their academic programs. Like they work at least minimum 2 times a week with me.
Yeah. They work with you.
Oh yeah, they actually have tasks. They have a contract signed with how much they're making, the hour they come in, they sign. If you miss signing in on your piece of paper, you're not gonna get paid that day. The different way for them. So one is scanning paper, one is shredding paper. Those just you make them. So the point is like that is me spending the whole day with them. So
you already have these smart jobs. Yeah. So they will be like when you go and apply for a job, then they will tell you you have to be working since you were this age.
I know that.
So they will have their resumes full before then.
Yeah, I know that. I know that your first son has been working since, because Amaka told me. Now, African fathers, are you hearing from your fellow African father who has his own law firm? Because Attorney John has his own law firm. His children, the sons, they come on schedule. They will sign in, some of them, even if as much as giving water to guests that come in. He's not only spending quality time, he's also teaching them principles and ethics of hard work.
And earning their money.
And also, there's also something I've noticed about, I think when I watch Nollywood movies, where I see like fathers, they have their sons, especially from the eastern part of Nigeria, involved in their businesses and all those things. The children are already learning. They will be ahead of their peers by the time they become adults. So if you have businesses that you are doing, include your children. Don't say they are too young. From there, they learn things like what it means to be punctual, consequences of coming late, gratitude,
finances. African parents, finances. They will never teach us in school.
Now, Attorney John is doing that job already. We appreciate you so much, Attorney John. And we thank you for your time. We thank you for your wisdom. We thank you for your honesty. And the only thing we will say is that this Igbo, you have to speak it. Yes.
I try.
Don't be like some fathers that we say our children should not use app to learn how to
to
learn how to speak the language.
The reason why we encourage you to speak it, don't be worried about whether they will understand or they will not understand, because it will be there, it will be stored there, and that's their cultural identity. I was saying in the office that they were looking for translator. That they were going to, language is very useful. It's powerful and it's part of their identity.
Yes.
It's what will make them like, when they see their parent and Nakedu.
We are surviving on pidgin.
We are mixing and collecting with different small languages, because our own father did not do that one.
We're not going to drag Daddy here.
But Daddy has apologized.
I'm not going to drag.
Daddy said language is his weakness.
Thank you so much, Attorney John.
Thank you so much.
We'll take you off from the screen now. If you want, you can remain in the background to the.
Okay. Yeah. So let me. All right. It was really a pleasure. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And greetings to the boys.
Please, y'all, remember to subscribe to Attorney John's YouTube channel. And yeah, that's his name.
And follow him on all social media platforms. There are nuggets of wisdom on there, and also check him
Junior,
out.
welcome from your sleep. Oh, it's good though. Yeah. Hi, Sarah. We see you. And we're going to be adding Yes Corner. Yes internet was doing go. The connection was breaking. So we hope we can't hear you.
We cannot hear you.
We cannot hear you.
Hey, how are you?
Oh my God. Commonsensesisters. I know say I own a call. My face use that one for tester. I own a call.
Not for here.
No, not before here. I just want to talk summary. I own a phone call. I will call na beg. It's been okay. I've heard.
The rules of today's show.
Yes Corner has a YouTube channel. She's in the corner of Yes.
And you are looking very good. You are looking very beautiful today. So good to see your face. It's been a while.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Yes. So
thank you.
Because your nuggets of wisdom on today's topic.
Intentional parenting. Yes.
So I like the topic. I like the fact that you guys are actually talking about this, because I was thinking about it ironically, I was thinking about it a couple of days, and I was discussing it with family. I have, my brothers and sisters that have kids. One or two of them didn't teach their children how to speak the language, language, and it kind of upset me. So I asked her why. I was asking her the reasons why. Because when you live in a foreign country, you really want your kids to be able to speak, and you want to be able to talk to your kids in a way that they can understand. Anyway, her reasoning was not satisfactory to me. Let me put it that way. But what's the first question? Sorry, when I go, they remind me about the first. I don't go off topic.
I make a put her for screen.
So those are the questions, right? So obviously we know that currently you are not a parent, but from a child's perspective, when you were growing up, what were the intentional things your parents
that
did
you
for
could
you
spot out
that made you feel that you had
intentional
parents from a child's perspective?
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, my parents were wonderful in some sense and not in all. And nobody's perfect, right? So one thing I took away from my parents was, number one, my dad and my mom discussed how they were going to raise their children. My dad wanted his children to have confidence. It was very important for him that his children had confidence. So he spent that time, and he wanted us to understand what it meant to be hardworking in his own way, right? So he imbibed that in us. And my dad was the kind of person that would ask you questions about your day, your school, what's going on and stuff like that. He will have conversations with you like that. And he liked to tell stories, so he always used to share wisdom from his own life, growing up, how he grew up and the things that his parents did that he didn't like, that he's trying to ensure that he doesn't pass on to us. So I remember him saying stuff like that. And what I also took away from my parents was the fact that they were very protective of their children, extremely protective. Because my dad used to have a lot of relatives that were going to school, right? They were going to university, and they were mostly guys. So my dad and my mom they always had their antennas, and their eyes wide open. They would be calling they'll be calling all of us wherever we are. Like, where are you? They always wanted us to be around. That's another thing. And books. My dad bombarded us with books. You had to
read. Yeah, that's cool.
You had to read a book. There was before all this, television was not a common thing in our household. You couldn't watch the TV.
Yeah.
You have to read your book. So because of that, I developed the habit of reading. So I can just be at home and read the entire day, and I will find myself in places I've never been to before, like imagination. Yeah, so he helps us activate that imagination. So I have vivid imagination. So when I'm reading, I can actually see wide and far, and the description of whatever. So those are the things that I remember now. Those are the few things I remember now that I hold very dear to me. And of course, the fact that he taught us how to speak the language. We dare not speak English at home. So that's why for me, I was disappointed when one of my sisters said, I was so disappointed. My parents insisted. They were like, you go to school, you speak all that mene you people speak. When you enter inside this house, you are speaking Isha, okay? Or you knew Navai, and now Navai. This is your language. So is what I say you respond to. Don't respond to me in English. Are you kidding me? So at home, we only spoke our native dialect. And we spoke not only because we grew up in Ibadan, so we had to speak Yoruba because they taught Yoruba in schools at the time. So we learned how to speak Yoruba, and then we learned how to speak Hausa, but I've lost my Hausa. But basically, he emphasized on us speaking the language. And he refused for us to speak any other thing but our language, And then my mom was a very entrepreneurial person. Very, very entrepreneurial, So she was always up to some type of business or the other. she was always, even though she was a full-time housewife, but she was the busiest full-time housewife ever. And she used us to run her shop, run her restaurant, run everything.
But you learned
I learned from there because as a child, I started, so from when she had a restaurant, I was the one making the moi moi in the restaurant. It was solely mine. So it was subcontracted. So she would say, okay, you're making the moi moi and you make, so she would say, if my customers like it, you make. If they don't like it, I'm not gonna let you make that moi moi anymore. Right? So I developed quickly at an early age
like Anthony John, who is now taking his kids to his love fair. You had experience from mom. Oh,
exactly. So I will make moi moi and they will buy it and they were roasting. They will buy the moi moi like sharp. So my mom hired me permanently to be the subcontractor for moi moi, right? And then when she had restaurants in the university at the time, because she had her canteen, they call them canteens.
I can smell the food. I miss the food now.
I took you guys back, yeah.
Now the stew,
yeah. So I will make the moi moi for her, and then I was also into baking. So I used to bake meat pies. So I'll bake meat pies. I used to bake meat pies and fish pies. So my business was booming. It was booming because of my mom. So because of that, I have this attitude of I never go hungry wherever I find myself. I can never go hungry. There's always something that I will find to do to generate income. It doesn't matter I have a job or not. I'm always generating income. So I learned that from home. So those are very valuable things. And then let me just add, not only my parents played that role in our lives, and then my mom taught us to be very, very smart, street smart, very street smart. My mom taught, yes, because we're only book smart, but we're always in our books because of my dad. So she wanted us to be street smart. So my mom is if you say mama for one of this area with like Agbero. If you say leave my mama, she for being serious. I'm telling you, that's the kind of person. So we had to learn that from her. And then I was blessed. I had friends who had fathers that were like a father figure to me. So what their father used to do for them was he would always, when I would go and spend time with them, or when they come spend time with me, right? When we go to their house, their father would take us out to dinner every weekend. You know what he said? He said, you know why I'm doing this? We're all girls. It was all the girls.
No man will come and use to say
our dad did it for us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So and they lived in Warri at the time, and the father worked in Shell. So he used to take us out a lot over the weekend. You say, I hope you ladies understand why I'm doing this for you. So that one 10 kobo boy will not come and come and use 10 kobo to collect what they are not supposed to. So because of that, I knew that. And then I had a cousin husband who taught me about boys. I didn't know anything about boys. So he taught me about boys. He taught me what to expect or what a man is supposed to do when he's, so those are values. So it wasn't just my parents, it was also the people that were around me that helped me, because when I was in the university, I used to spend time with my cousins in my cousin's house in Lagos at the time. And they're very wealthy, so they know a lot of all these top Nigerian people. So they used to come to the house, and some of them, their eyes were shining. So they used to give me they would give me so much money, right, in bulk. So my cousin's husband will immediately intercept it and take them outside and talk to them, and then every night at dinner, he was always talking to me. He would say to me, he said, you know why I did what I did? I do not want you to have at the back of your mind that some man needs to give you money in order to become anything. This is how women's lives can be ruined. I don't want you to fall into that category. So those people really sheltered me. Not by my power, it was just the people that were around me. So for me, if I'm not making the dough, I don't want it. So, so those are values that I took away, that I cherish. That, someday, by the grace of God, when I do have my own kids, or if I have, the opportunity to be in the lives of children, I will impact them because they have carried me through life. Because of that, my decisions, it has really made me a much better human being.
That's good.
That's good.
Thank you so much.
Shared a lot of things. And
Thank you.
Even from those the angle of relationships, and I didn't even think of that when we're doing about
but it's true. Thinking about it now and all those things.
Relationships showing you what how a man is supposed to treat you. How you're supposed to be treated as a lady,
as a queen, and all that.
I didn't even think of that.
I remember. And then our dad compliments us a lot. I know that last week when we called him on a different hairstyle. And I know that if we call him on video call now,
somebody that is watching the video.
His dad is watching. Daddy, sweet daddy. I know that is watching.
So thank you so much
to admire, and he admires and all those things. And
he makes you as the girl child around you.
Yeah, and he also makes you as a girl child that if person they tell you, oh my, you look gorgeous, you look pretty.
Exactly.
I know.
It doesn't even affect me. As in, I'll say, okay, so next, what do you have to say? Because it doesn't faze me.
Thank you.
So wonderful show, guys. I'll be in the background listening. I'm driving.
Okay,
so,
no. All
right, take care.
You guys too. Love you guys.
Bye.
Okay.
So you are hearing some tips. Street smart. Before we bring in Samolu. Some of you don't understand the meaning of street smart.
Street smart means you should also hit the like button.
Street smart is when you hit the like button right now. Street smart is when you call your father and your mother to come and listen to their mates, their younger and their elder.
Everybody different generation. Street smart is when you share this video.
Street smart is when you tell your children stories about life.
Language.
Don't say that they are too young to understand. If there's evil happening in the world, look for a way to figure out a way to tell them the story so that
be
creative that because the children that you have, they are going to go, you don't know where they are going to be as adults. So that those things they instill, they're like, this one. For example, one of the street smart things is you don't leave your car unlocked because you are in Obodo Ibo and think that somebody will not thief it. Don't for you to do that. Or you are going to the shop, you are in the grocery store, you leave your bag on the shopping cart, you turn to the aisle and picking things because you say you are in Obodo Ibo, nobody will thief it.
Another example of street smart, if you see people running, don't go and be investigating what's going on there.
Minding your
business is an example of street smart. We don't learn that in school.
Now we're bringing Samolu.
If Samolu don't give us jollof rice from that baby shower,
we are dragging
him and the queen.
We are dragging him and
the crown. All of them. Everybody's getting
Samolu, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Oh.
Yeah, we missed you last week. Hey!
Yes, please, Amolu, you can also speak on last week's topic.
After you speak
because we have to hear what
you are so thankful to Omoti.
I wanted to listen to last week. I have not been able to listen. I don't know why. Each time I'm going to work,
that hit a teenager. So
okay. Okay, do you want me to talk about that one first before I talk about my?
Let's talk about intentional parenting. Yeah,
because
we
know.
Okay.
Yeah, because we know.
Okay.
Intentional father.
Yes, for intentional parenting, let me start from my experience, from what I learned from my father. I happen to grow up in a very in a polygamous family, but the type of polygamous family I grew up is the one that has about three generation set of kids. Our first set of my father first wife, my mom is the last. The first set, they were already gone when we came. So the second set were already in university, as in they were already grown up when we came. So it was like my dad really, really had time for us, as in he has raised those ones to be adults. So, but he's a disciplinarian, but he's somebody that, at a young age, we are always, afraid of one thing, because he used to cane us. Those are the parents of those days. He used to cane us. But at the time when I grew up becoming a teenager, then he started dropping the cane, and we got closer. Then when we misbehave, he would talk to us. Sometimes my father can talk to you 2 hours. Then I will be wishing that
your father was just father.
I will be wishing that he should just beat me. Let me go. Let me just go.
It's like all these men, they just like to be flogged. We are protecting against.
So I will just wish that, why can't you just flog and let me go my way? But that one is the most painful part. You'll be there 2 hours and he'll be talking to you. He will tell stories about his life, everything, and you'll be so, as in, he will be tired, and he will actually hit you where you don't really, like it. But over time, those things really shaped me. But apart from that, we're very close. In fact, I was very close to my dad because, number one, he instilled in me a very a level of confidence, especially when I was growing up as a kid, before I even become a teenager. I used to ask some ridiculous questions and all those stuff, and especially about religion. He's the only one that would say, my mom would say, come on, shut up. You ask. My dad would say, why? Let him ask, come, I will explain to you. He explained to me. He's the one that demystified a lot of lies in religion and culture. I remember when I was growing up, one day, one of my cousins came from, we are from Ijebu. He came from Ijebu. He brought this thing, we call this thing they do. It's called Oro. That thing is like, I don't know how I would describe it. Somebody is a Yoruba, they know what they call Oro. Oro is when they are doing this, like Ojuju Calabar. No, it's not incantation. It's like Ojuju Calabar, that women, you'll be hearing the sound. Women, they will say women cannot come out when they are doing their festival. So they will make that sound. That stuff that they used to weave like this with thread and this thing, that will making that sound. It will make a sound like voo, voo, voo. That sound, when women are not supposed. So my cousin have brought that thing to Lagos. And one night, yes, and we were not doing this in our compound. Everybody was so scared, they ran away. As in, they were hearing, they said, what's happening? So they came to report. So one of our neighbors now discovered that we were the one that was doing that stuff. They came to report to my dad. And my dad, he's an old man because he had us at his old age. He now said, oh, this is dangerous. It's the implication. My father said, keep quiet. I grew up my father, he said my grandfather, before we convert him to Christian, he was the head of all this this community in my hometown then. He said when his father left his mom for a certain time before he came back, he said his mom was struggling to make, prepare her food. She used to sell pap. They should prepare food that he would use to pay his school fees. And they were doing that first, and they said the mom couldn't come out. And the father told those people, go out, go and do this. It's just all this, they are taboo. Nothing will happen to you. So my father was telling me, so what did you say my kids doing there? He now said, we should go and bring that stuff where we said, is it not this thing? They're just deceiving people. He said there is nothing there. They said there is nothing there. Don't let anybody deceive you. He said they use it to trick. They will say women cannot come out. This, all those lies in culture and this thing that he grew up to know over time. He just say. So when I asked him those questions, he explained to me. He said they are just tricked. So he gave me that level of confidence and make me to a lot of things when people say if you say this thing is going to happen to you, say it's a lie. Nothing will happen to you. Don't let anybody deceive you. So that's the kind of father. It's the kind of father that pastor will came or prophet will say, we saw vision that this thing will happen to you. My dad will say, no. He said, so and what? He said, come off it. Nothing is not going to happen. I'm not even going to waste my time praying about or fasting about. It's not going to happen. So, but he's a Christian. He's a Christian because in our family, I grew up in a family where we do morning devotion, night devotion. So we do that thing as well. But all those, you want, extras that you want to make it to subdue people, not to, use your common sense and, be critical. He will just say, no, those things are not, those things will not happen. Just come off it. So that was the kind of father that was how I was raised. And it's this kind of father that also encouraged, all these kids. There is no discrimination in how he raised both the male and female. In fact, my father loved to eat pounded yam, so he mandated that we, only the boys, are the one that will pound the yam because pounding yam then is you have to use a lot of strength. Yes. So
when you can pound yam.
So my father banned all our sister from doing. We are the ones. So when it's time to pound yam, we must make sure we support our mom to do all those things and prepare it. We were the one doing it. And the house chores, it doesn't say because you're a guy you can't do this kind of. Everybody, we do it together. In fact, he gave more to us, the boys, than the girls. So that was the way I was, that was what really shaped my lifestyle and everything. And even though the way I'm raising my kids now is not that I'm raising them like the way my father is. Of course, when we were growing up, we were beating, cane. Like you mentioned, pankere. Well, I chop a lot of pankere there, but not too much. Yes. I chop some pankere. But now, this generation, we don't do that one to our kids. But one thing I so intentional about myself in, I want is to be an example to my kids. Because my kids are still very young. My boys are 6 and my daughter is 9. But I just want to be very intentional in the way that they see how family units should operate. Like trying to, between myself and my wife, we don't have a particular role as a parent in the house. My kids want to eat now at home. They don't really go to their mom. They'll come to me, Dad, I'm hungry. I want to. So except I'm not at home, they will go to their mom. They see that. So they have it and they see that, when I'm hungry, I can go to my dad. When I can go to my mom. But a lot of time, if you're home, let's say out of 100%, they will come to me like 70, their mom 30% when they are hungry. Because apart from that, they always say that, if I want this, daddy is ready to make it for me. They can tell mom.
You have to leave to go and make the hot chocolates for them.
If they can say they want this type of food, mom say, no, I can't do that one. If you take my time, you have to take this one. That's what I can do. Yes, but they will tell me this is what I will say. Okay, you want this one? They know that will do it. No matter how long it will take time to do, I will try and work it out and I will do it for them. Although there are some that will say, this one is mommy that can do it. I am not going to. Like when they want to do pancake, they want to eat pancake. I say no, it's mommy that will do pancake. All those mixing of flour. But I try to be very intentional with them. And I try to be very supportive of, taking time to make sure that, like the other guy said, the Anthony said, I try to make sure that I'm always at home till they go to bed. When I'm outside, I want to get home, even though maybe I'm not at work, maybe on weekend I go out. I want to be at home before they get to bed. Because most times, they bring books from library, from school. We read those books together, before they go to bed. And each time they want to go to bed, they always want me to, Daddy, can you please walk us up to bed? And when they walk on, they want me to sleep on the bed with them. So until they sleep before I go back. That's the way. Yes, that is, sometimes I will say, no, I'm not going to sleep on the bed with you. I'll just walk you to bed. They'll say, okay, that's fine. I walk them to. But they always want, is an habit that they do, walk us to bed, try to want you to be with them on there before you retire back to the sitting room. That is why I don't usually, I love to, go out, That's why I don't really hang out. When some of my friends, we are social players, I don't really go out. But I go to club at night when they have gone to sleep.
Oh,
Occasionally.
You are not on the
Yes, yes, I go to club like when they've gone to bed. Maybe I will come back in maybe 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I do that. I do that. But during the time that they need me, in fact, if I'm not at home, they will be calling. They take their mom's phone, call me on video. Daddy, where are you? Because it's very rare for them for not to have me around. It's they always, Daddy, where are you? Where have you been? They know the time I have to be at work, so they know that if you're not at this time, you should be at home. Yes, yes. So
you're accountable to them and they're accountable to you.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So that is
accountable to you, right?
Exactly. So that is what I. So that is how I try to be set that example for them, the way I relate with them, making sure that this is how parent and child relationship should be. So that is what I've tried to do as a parent. And like I said in my comment section, I said sometimes they want to be manipulative, go to their mom to ask something, and they know that if they come to me, and sometimes I will have given them before I realize, did you ask your mom? And they will now, you will now see the reaction. Oh, if she already told you before you came, I will now go and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know that they've already asked you, but they came to me. But a lot of time I've tried to, when they come to me, I check from her that, have they come to you to ask this thing? You say no. I say. So she said no. There's nothing I could do. So that has been.
That's
how.
I have a question. Thank you so much for sharing. We're so happy that you could make it today. So I have a question. In terms of discipline, because I know that you are a father who is in the UK, so you are in the diaspora. Are you sharing how you intentionally create time, yourself and John? John is in the US, where parents will be making excuses, busy life. But you go intentionally create your schedule around this, because obviously I believe that people know that these children, by the time they become teenager and start becoming adults, all this time you cannot have this, but they will have the memories and experience. So in terms of discipline, or I will use the word correcting, because how do you and Omoti, how do you do that with your kids? Because some parents who have migrated to this part of the world, all they know is flogging. Now you're telling them they don't sit to talk to them and all that stuff. And also, some parents in Nigeria are still doing all those things. So how do you go about it?
How we discipline is that we sometimes, when we try to deny them their most loved precious games. When they say you will not have access to play games on your iPad or the games they play or the toys they like to play with, that's how we discipline them. We make sure they say, if you do this, you are not going to have access for this for so time, and they don't really like it. This is what we don't during the week. We don't allow them to play on games, iPad, all those stuffs, because we only give it to them on weekends. So during the week is when they come back from school. We play with each other, read your books, and we read books together before they go to bed. So it's only weekend we allow them to have access to them. But to discipline them, even that weekend, we tell them, if you do this, you are not going to have access to this thing, and we take it from them. We can take it from him or from them, maybe for like 1, 2, or 1 or 2, or throughout the day. It depends on the gravity of their. So you are not going to have access to it, and I will not even allow you to watch TV. When you begin to tell them all those things, they come back to their senses. They try to behave and try to we don't actually flog them, even though they are young. I still talk to them like I'm talking to an adult. 6, I'll talk to them. See, I'm talking to why do you do that? We talk, and why I want to hear the reason why they are behaving in such manner, and I want to tell them why they shouldn't do it, the implication if they continue doing things like that. So that's the way we try to manage them in terms of discipline.
Okay. Omoti is also saying that you people also encourage them to speak up when mom and dad did something that they don't like. I remember she also said this.
Yes.
Which is good. That's the accountability thing. Another thing I want to ask is when you people are discussing with your kids based on the whole discipline thing, or if you are trying to point out why they shouldn't do certain things, you know, some of the African parents, the way they do things, like as if the child is down, and
there's a hierarchy.
The child is looking down while they are talking above the head of the child.
It's like an authority
instead of on the eye level of the child. So like if you are sitting down and obviously your child is not tall, but at least they can see your eye level and you are talking. Is that how you could do it, or they can't really have eye contact? Like,
of course, they have to have eye contact. No, that is the first thing that the problem we have in Africa that affected. It affected even me. Let me say it to some extent, especially when I was looking for job. Trying to maintain that eye contact. After my first degree, started looking for job. That confidence to really look people in the eye, and it affected a lot of us. When sometimes when they talking, don't look at me. I'm talking. You want to look away.
Yeah.
Because it's like in our culture, you are disrespectful when you are looking into the face of an elderly person or adults talking to you. So you don't look. But no, I don't try to raise my kids like that. We make sure that we talk to each other, look me in the eye, we maintain eye contact. In fact, this is even the values they give them in school. They tend to look it in the eye if they misbehave. Even if you're trying to scold them or talk to them, they still look you in the eye and let them know. Not that you say, no, don't look at me, this and that. No, we don't do that. So I try to sit down when I'm talking to them, not stand on them and try to talk down on them. Sit down, we be at the same level, and I'll say, come, look at me in there. So we are on the same level when we talk.
And this is also good because I believe that parents are the first authority figure that children see. Mm-hmm. So if you already have a voice with your father, with your mother, you're able to express yourself, you can go out into the world and do amazing things. You can stand up for the right thing. You already have your own voice. And this eye contact will also have affected me here in Canada, because in Canada, if you don't look at people in the eye, they think that you're lying to them. And
exactly.
Expecting them. So it was a cultural shock for me as well. So I understand what Samuel is also saying. And Amaka is also saying that you are amazing, and it's great to see our Nigerian fathers stepping up. And
that's why we're very happy to have you all here. Another question that not question per se, but like statement. I know that you and Omoti intentionally spend quality time. So whether it's like
going to the museum,
creating memories and all that, how do you do that? Because I remember in our first live video, Omoti was saying that you could even create like a picture collage of the different places. So how would you suggest or advise your fellow African parents
to think beyond education
and church?
Exactly.
Attend their children's game, take them to swimming lessons.
Visit places, go to the park, go and swim. Many blacks don't know how to swim. Mm-hmm. Go and swim, go to the parks, go to the lakes, create memories. How do you balance that? Yeah.
If we're talking about the swimming part, we just return them back to swimming class, and we stop for some time again. I don't know, maybe they lock the swimming gym at a time, and they must before the lockdown, the coronavirus, they have a swimming class. They go every week, and I noticed that a lot of black parents don't really do it. We see white and some Asian people do a lot of things, and and it depends. It's all about being very intentional about it. Like now, I love to travel. My wife too also love to travel. Apart from that, we love to create. I like to create some memories that I didn't really have much with my parents, with my kids. Although I was able to travel a little bit within the southwestern Nigeria with my dad, but not like I would love to be for with my go that far. But we try to create memories one thing about it is that my wife is always very intentional about it. She's the one that wants, oh, it's a midterm break. We have to look for where to go and all this. In this lockdown, we've not been able to travel abroad, but we'll be able to look for activities within UK. And if you see, in the last 2 weeks, we went for, what do you call this thing?
Was it the
I forgot it.
Was it the hiking when they were on the zip line?
The zip lining.
Yeah, zip line. Don't mind me. Yes, you see our videos on Instagram. You know, everybody saying, they call me, are you crazy? See what you putting your kids through. I said, no, there is a nest on that, you know, even if they fall, they can't fall down, they will be fine. Everybody's, you know, but it's a very good memory. You know, these are the things, and we have a very big 1 terabyte. We put the video, the pictures, and we also have a picture collage we have in our house of where cities we have traveled to. We put the pictures there that this is. So if I tell them where is this place, they will tell you, this is when we went to Cyprus or when we went to Dubai, all those stuff. So we try to create all those activities for them, you know, to create that memory. Because, you know, these are the things that will shape their upbringing and when they become an adolescent, you know, when they get, become an adult on their own and try to raise their kids. So we try to, it's because it creates that bond, a parent-child bond, you know, that is when, and if create that, you know, what do I call it? It makes sense to be very open togetherness as a family. Yes, and so that they will be able to express themselves, you know, enjoy, you know. So and initially, I got to this. Oh, this thing is gone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
My phone just went off. So how did I get into this? When I first came, my first place I work it was a Nigerian company. Most of us are Nigerians. So when we over the weekend, they just house your weekend, say fine. So I now changed my job and now started working on a project. So on that project, when I was working, a lot of white people are my colleagues. And when they come on weekend, they'll say, oh, how was the weekend? We went to this place.
Yeah. You will be free to talk. No wish in your white company. No wish.
So I don't really have where to that we went over the weekend. I'll tell my wife. I said I can't be, you know, every weekend they'll say we went on so activities for the kids and they keep telling them. So I will not say let's start doing something. Then we start from there. We go to Central London, go to museum, go to this. We start creating activities. Then that was how we started, and it was fun.
Yeah.
You know, in their last meet-up break, 1 week meet-up, we took them to about 3 activities. We went to London Museum, British Museum. We've been to London Museum before. In fact, we've been to a lot of museums because they have different types of. We have London Transport Museum, London Museum itself. This one is British Museum. So we went to British Museum. We now went to the other activity and we did what other things we did, I've forgotten about it. But my wife and my daughter are the one that will plan it. They will say, oh, we are going to this place, you know. And for the traveling, I will say, oh, I love to go to this city. I've been liking to go to, and my wife will just handle all the logistics and say, oh, this is what we cost, this is this and that. So that's, you know, it's more, that's a fun that limiting ourselves to our community, church, home, school, education. We focus more on the education, but there are more to education.
The creative side, the social side.
Like those things also is part of education that, you know, that creates a lasting memory.
They're creating a whole being in your children. So now they are not just only school. They are seeing the world totality.
What does Daddy used to say then?
Exactly.
You know, and through you and your wife, they see the bigger picture. Through you and Omoti, they see the bigger picture.
Yeah, that's something that I think the reason why I'm asking you these questions is because I know that you'll be able to answer, and then other parents will also.
Stella said you and Omoti should adopt a second chance.
You know, so like it's so nice, and then it's creating that bond between Bella and Omoti, having to plan and do the baby stuff and all those type of things, and your children just watching, and for them that's normal. So now when they come out, when they are older, and then this, they obviously have their common sense and their wisdom in this abnormal.
Let me tell you something. Everywhere we've been to on holiday, do you know most of the time we will be the only black family or one or two there. When we went to Cyprus, we are the only black family in that place. We went to another place in Spain. What's this place in Spain?
Barcelona?
Malaga. There is another spot within Malaga. We went to there, and we now went to one British territory called Gibraltar. We went to the top, the big, we were the only black family. In fact, most of the places we one or two black, but we are always the only.
You people now open a YouTube channel and be doing vlogs.
I was saying, my wife was saying that now we're going to another place called Tenerife. It's a small island off coast of Morocco and Western Sahara in December. So those are and these things, it doesn't cost much, especially within Europe.
That's the thing.
A lot of people will think you're spending so much money. It doesn't really cost so much money because it's just within Europe and so many places you can go to as a family, and you will see that. Other than going to Nigeria, if you want to go to Nigeria as a family, the ticket is more than what we will go and we will spend. It's times two of what we go on holiday for. Because my wife has a cousin. He always take kids only to Nigeria, and the flight ticket for about she has about 5 kids. The flight ticket, is costing almost £6,000. We don't even spend half of it when we go on.
So you are smart parents, smart intentional parents.
And kids, when they come back, they begin to complain. My kids have been to Nigeria too. They've been to Nigeria several times. But if there's no fun, that activity that I want to
those parents are not just taking their children to Nigeria, they are taking them because of their own personal reasons. Okay, we'll not be living for London. Well, follow us. Let's go and meet your mates. People are suffering. Go and count your blessings.
You see, you have light every day. God is not the same.
Let mosquito chew you small. Okay? When I make film, you make pan.
France for the weekend. How much did we spend? Did we even spend up to £600 or something, or £800?
Here in France for the weekend. All of now we got the UK. Only London, church. Only London and church.
So for Nigerian family, I think I said it for a bit. You see, they stay in the church Saturday the whole day, choir practice and all those nonsense. Children will go there and basically on Sunday the whole day. I'm like, even the God you are serving, say rest.
God is everywhere.
He said rest. What is all these things that people are going there? And then when those children, they become adults, they become so
they cannot function.
They cannot function. They feel inferior. Because now you're doing all these things for your kids. They go to school, they talk to their parents. Oh my goodness, what did you do?
I got this. No, I went to church. I went
all nights.
I went to church, all nights, all day. All afternoon.
It affects their esteem. That is what I honestly believe. So thank you very much, Samolu.
Okay, now.
We're going to bring Omoti. Then we'll bring. I don't know if you stay here, then you can probably leave. But we're going to bring Omoti because you have to give your opinion.
You want to talk about this thing?
Yes, after Omoti.
Okay. So we'll bring Omoti now.
Yeah.
Hello.
Building Omoti again.
How
are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, ladies? How's Canada?
Canada is cold. For no reason, it's cold.
I can imagine.
Cold,
anyway, what's up tonight? I can hear Sam speaking in the kitchen. I'm thinking, who is he talking to again? I then I realize, it's that time of the week again, Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, so what's the question for me? Because I think it's answered most everything, or most of the questions. So is there anything you want me to?
Yeah, these are the questions on the screen.
Okay.
will your children see you as an intentional parent? Do you parent your child exactly? No, definitely not. Not the way I was brought up. Complete opposite. Complete opposite. Yeah. So like Sam has said, where as in we cannot be intentional enough, trying to raise these children as self-confident individuals. Do you get? Part of the things that they teach them in school is being confident, knowing who you are, being able to stand for yourself, being able to speak for yourself with no fear or whatever anybody feels. Just know that you can speak for yourself. My daughter has been having issue with one of her friends in class, and I keep telling her, listen, you cannot be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
If one of your friends in school is doing something you don't like, stand your ground. Tell that friend, please don't be rude to me. I've never been rude to you. And if that person is not listening, go to your teacher or go to your ed teacher. She knows you very well. She's one of the popular girls in our school. All of our teachers that she's passed through their classes always wanted her, they've always appreciated her being their pupil, So for her, I don't have, sometimes she feels bad. She feels like, oh, I don't have to talk. I don't want to hurt other people's feelings. I said, no. Sometimes you have to speak up.
Yeah.
Don't shout. Just calmly express yourself that you're doing this and I don't like it. You need to stop it. Do you understand? So, and the boys as well. I mean, remember one time one of my boys misbehaved in class and it was put in a timeout outside the classroom. It was shortly before they closed for the day. When I got to school and to pick him up, I saw him, he was crying. I'm like, what happened? So the teacher told me what happened. It felt really, the fact that he was sent out of the class to go and sit down in a corner room, it felt really, you can feel the pain.
Yeah. Oh, it felt bad.
In him. It felt really bad. And I tried to, I came down to his level. I talked to him. I said, okay, that's fine. Just know that you don't repeat this again, because if you do it again, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. Do you like the way you are feeling? No. So next time, be aware of your environment. Do not do what will make your teacher to send you out of the class. I mean, there's been 2 occasions, and those 2 occasions, it wasn't himself at all. He completely lost it. It was really upset. But I completely understand, and I spoke to him, and I let him understand that yes, we make mistakes. But then, as long as you apologize to the other party, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
We also encourage them to apologize, to say sorry.
Yes.
Say sorry whenever you are wrong. If you feel like you are wrong, just say sorry, and you move on from there. So in terms of being intentional, like Sam has said, we create time. I mean, we both do 9 to 5, and before the lockdown, I tend to leave home early so that I can finish early. The school the after school club will pick them up from school. Some will drop them in the morning. So I start work early. After school, we'll pick them up, and I finish work early, and I'll collect them from the after school. I come home, and then Sam comes home later. He works late and comes home later. So we've been able to manage that process.
That's
so good. And in terms of holiday, I said to people, they kind of experience I didn't have growing up.
Yeah.
I'm creating that experience with my children.
Yeah.
I'm creating that experience with them. I mean, whenever we decide, because for me, holiday, by January, February is booked already.
Yeah.
Right, so that by the time it's June, people that leave it to last minute, you realize that
the money is more expensive. You see, smart, intentional.
Exactly. So for me, before lockdown, by March, my holiday for the year is booked. So I know that bit has been sorted. So we're just like looking forward to it. So those are one of the things I want. When I was young, I traveled a bit, but now that I've got kids, and I want them to see the world. Not just London, Nigeria. I left Nigeria when I was young, so I don't really have anything to do. For me, Nigeria is not a vacation. taking kids to Nigeria is just a waste of money in my view, because there's absolutely nothing to do. So we go to Europe. We've been to Europe a few times, and we've been to part of the UK as well. You know, like I said, just to build up memories.
Yes.
You know, just to build up memories. And each time we travel outside the UK, we tend to pick up car from the airport. That's one of the things we do. We hire a car so that we can travel to the nearby countries.
And yes.
You know, and see other, you know, places within that same, you know, so
road trips,
exactly.
Yeah.
The last time we went to Dubai, we picked up a car, we drove to Abu Dhabi, we went to Ferrari World. Yeah, it was fun. It was, I mean, for me, going on holiday, the highlight for me is the water park. All of us acting like kids in a candy shop in the water park. For me.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So for them, they can, when they go back to school, they talk about it. I just want them to go to school and talk about it. I feel like one of my, you know, kids teachers said to me one day that your kids, they seem very happy. They seem very contented.
Yeah, that's the word.
You know, you know, they seem very happy. They're like settled kids. They have, you know, they have no worries, because we know you as their mom. There was when this Squid Game was going viral, and the school was sending out email that they should not allow their kids to watch it. And I didn't know about it. It was my daughter that brought it to my attention. I even thought it was one of those kids game that we can all sit down as a family and watch. Sunday afternoon, okay, we gathered ourselves, let's watch Squid Game. By the time we got to the end of episode 1, I was thinking, no way, no way you're watching this. So I stopped them. So I think from the games they play online, they have those characters built into those games. So they got to know more about Squid Game from that game they play online. So in school, I think Bella told her teacher that, oh, I've seen Squid Game. So when I picked her up in the afternoon, teacher called me saying, oh, Bella's mom. She said she's seen Squid Game, and I know for a fact that I know you wouldn't have allowed. I said, no, she did not. No, she did not. She said, I know her. She wouldn't have seen it because I know her mom. Her mom wouldn't have allowed her to say it. I said, exactly. I didn't know about it. She got to know about Squid Game from the Roblox they all play online. That's when she got to know about it. You know what she said to me? She said, I knew it. I had so much confidence in her and you as a mother.
Amazing.
You know?
That's amazing.
You know, so for me, African parents, please, it's not all about just working. Try and spend quality time with the children. It is very, very, very key. It is absolutely important. You might not be able to travel around the world, but even within the city you are, spend time together, get to know your children.
Definitely.
And make sure Sam is involved, because I don't want it to be a case whereby, oh, your child did something. Oh, really? I don't know. But if he knows the child is raising himself, he'll be able to defend that child. So it's not just from my point of view, from what I'm telling him. I want him to be able to say, yeah, this is the kind of child I raised.
Experience.
You know? So I make sure when it comes to parents meeting, taking them to football, piano class, swimming class, we share it.
Yeah, that's good.
That's very good.
We share it. You know, so that's just me. I don't know about any other. It might not work for other people, but for me, that's what we do, and it has worked, and it's still working for us.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible, because I think we had the same thing too, like where both parents they share the responsibilities, and our dad likes to gist. Like any opportunity he has, my dad there's something that he does that till date he still does it, right? If he notices that the house is a bit boring, or like wherever we are in different parts of the world, something, he can call and say, now wow, in those days you people used to just gossip about me. People don't gossip about me anymore. My own father, you will call your mother and you gossip about me. What's going on now? We have a communication issue in this family. So that's how important gist is. Is it when we're eating at the dining table, Daddy will use his hand to take Ella's plantain.
Every time. I think of my plantain.
Yes, you know, every time. So like just like the little things. And then we also see how he loves our mother. Yeah, how he loves and our mom. Even till date, he will if he's eating fish or meat, he will say, honey, come and take this small one now. Come and eat this small one. My mother doesn't want to eat it. Because of love, just like they did on their wedding day of passing cake, he still does that. So we
as kids, we're able to see
love. That's what we are used to seeing. We were used to seeing. We are still used to seeing that. Our parents were very intentional. And then I know that there are some parents that are like in the whole religious stuff, like maybe Christian and everything. Your children have to see you first as the as the person they have to learn from. Like our parents were very intentional about that, and I don't think my mother would have ever imagined that her children will not be living in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So that time when we were kids, she would always tell us, even if sometimes there are challenges like my dad is going through or whatever, she finds a way to just tell us the stories in terms of life lessons. That today we are working in our various jobs as the children, different parts of the world. We apply that common sense lessons.
Yeah.
We don't have to experience bad things.
Yeah, because we already learned about them from primary school.
We've already learned. My mom will come to the room at 3 a.m. It is doing me. I just want to say something in the night.
Sometimes you are having your midnight call.
You are talking to a boy in the night. Your mother will come into the room, say, my dear, I just
feeling something
in my
inside me.
In the daytime, I would have to use this credit.
Exactly. So all these times now, but my mother, I don't know if she knew or she didn't know, but those things were like those are the things that sustains us today, that make us really strong.
Mental strength.
Yeah. Ella came here when she was still a teenager, alone, nobody in Canada, and she was looking forward to coming here. But independence was something we look forward to.
I didn't want
you know, and as the children, we didn't all want to be in the same place. We like to be afar,
afar,
visit each other and all those stuff. So I really like the way you and Samuel Louis are raising your kids.
Yeah.
I think it's of immense value to your family and to the society.
Yeah.
You know,
even sometimes when we go and we put it on our WhatsApp, because Sam is very good with social media, it will post it on WhatsApp. and I will get people messaging me that I liked it. I like you guys' idea of taking your kids, because most African parents, they're like, on a Saturday, why should I leave my house when it's cold? Let me just stay in my house. Like I admire you guys taking these kids out, creating time for them. Even one of my cousins said to me one time that, please, whenever you are going next, let me know on time so that I can tag along.
They want to pay. What do you people should open YouTube channel and start documenting all these vlogs?
Like just consider it. Just consider it.
Yeah, we've been thinking about it, to be honest. I bought my tripod. I bought I literally bought everything, but just for me to now start.
This is the greatest invention on earth. iPhone.
And don't worry about. The beauty about blogs is that you don't even have to edit it.
You don't have to edit that much.
You just put it out there, because then you are creating your memories. Then the kids also have to look back on. You know, and it's something that's very enjoyable.
Because you're a positive, let me use race, you're a positive black family. Very positive. And we need to see a reflection of that. Come and say you are now Nigerians. Vlogging. Traveling around. We need it.
If you see Sam, when Sam is in the zone of holiday, it becomes a kid himself.
And it's a good thing, Omoti. So I think
it becomes a kid. The thing is, when we are going, we have our own backpack. We'll pack our lunch, sandwich, drinks, and everything. And people will be asking, so you guys pack this thing? So to African parents, it's like, really? As in, you guys do that? I say, yeah, there's no big deal in it. It's just like the way Oyibo people do it. They're not different from us. It's just laziness that we just cannot be bothered on it. I just want my weekend in my bed all day.
Omoti, this is how I see it.
If we start with unintentional parents,
this is how this words come from. So imagine myself and Ella. Common sense, they pursue us, and we needed to dump it somewhere. So YouTube was one of the ways that we could also create our memories, and these memories were created not just for ourselves, but for our children's children to come. And we're able to look back. There's this movie that myself and Ella will love watching on YouTube. They call them the Ellises. We'll put their name there. The Ellises, the African American family, young family. It's amazing. Over 10 years. We've seen them grow, but it is amazing. And And like we love it too much because we can see sneak peek of our like childhood in the way, the family, the woman behaves with the family and the children and all those type of stuff. So
creating whole human beings.
Yes. So even if it's the one you have done in the past, just drop it out there. Just see that Bella. Bella is
the only one we know. We don't know the names of your sons. That's why we don't call their sons. We are only calling Bella.
What are the names of your sons, though?
Amalade and Amalayo.
Okay. Oh, Amalade and Amalayo and Bella.
Yeah.
So to create those memories, please consider it because people already have it in you. You are just making an excuse for time because you are procrastinating. No. You have
iPhone and iMovie, that's it.
Yeah, we'll put the LCD there. Maybe it will encourage you. Like you just put it there because you know what you are doing. You are spreading positivity into the world. You are spreading ideas into the world.
And their parents will come and watch and they don't know, but they will learn from it.
And they will be inspired to do it. Because sometimes some African parents honestly do not know, especially those who are living in the diaspora. They do not really know. So to see their own time that knows and all those type of things. Why not?
Their children might come and post videos and say, "Mommy, look at what this family is doing. Why can't you do this for
things like that?" And I think it's very good for documenting that memory because when they look back, you yourself look at you see how far come.
I always make sure that I book several activities that we would do.
Yeah. So you're intentional. But my friend Amaka does the same thing. John's wife, she's the one on the screen here. She does the same thing.
Did the sand dune. We went we went to Ferrari World.
It's nice.
I mean, I want to be watching it, yeah. So it's
I want to be
watching my own selfishness.
Me, I want to be watching. Me, I don't mind
you.
I will
the Instagram clip is too short for me, so I want to be.
Me, I also want to be watching. Yes, me, I want to.
Plus, tomorrow, if I want to visit London, I know the channel to go and watch.
Yes. Bella's been saying she wants a YouTube channel.
Yes. I'm like, just do it.
Daughter, I said start scripting, writing down ideas so that we can work on and then start.
That's a good thing, journaling. But don't wait for all the ideas. Just be dropping it. Drop the idea. Idea not the come when they wait.
But the last many years, the richest person on YouTube is a child, bro. It's a child, it's a child. It's a Peking when they review toys.
I'm telling you. So why not?
Another thing we do as a parent is we make sure that we save for them. As in, we are rigorously saving
finance.
We bought coins for them. They have their stock and ISA shares account. As in, I just want them to be comfortable when they get to their teenage or 21 and above.
So creating wealth.
But I'm creating wealth for them.
So, Bella Omolayo, they are richer than some adults now. Adults, parents, are you hearing? Those of you.
Amati, you people cannot keep this common sense to yourself. You and
please.
Consider
point of that we have to. We just
you need to. Amati, you people will be doing a disservice to the world if you are not putting this out there. Maybe let me put
nobody on TV that the world these kids are going to face when they when they get to that stage, we don't know because the world is constantly evolving.
Yes.
Look at do we know what's going to happen in 20 years time?
No, we don't.
So and if we just let life just swallow them, that is it.
Yeah.
I
think please really you and Samulu, please consider don't stop thinking of Jonah.
Don't think about the camera because you don't have to go and learn that. We don't have camera. We don't have iPhone 6 we used to
now MacBook we used to talk to now. Now when we want to do live, people go know our story now. Now we buy all this ring light.
All these ring
light. People started able supporting us, giving us money.
So
I this thing every opportunity that African parents we need to do better.
Yes.
To do better. This Oyinbo, they don't have 2 words now. They do somewhere.
Yeah. And one way of teaching your fellow African parents how to do better is also showing what you are doing in the video.
People, some of them don't. I know that's none of my business, but
it's your business. Why not?
I speak up on these things. Honestly, you have no idea because I'm thinking, look at where you didn't look at. It took me some time to be able to do few things, but looking at when I started doing things, I don't want them to be at that age and they're still doing that thing. I want them to,
yeah.
You know? So hence why, you have no. You see that saving thing? Oh God.
Yeah. I think you and Samolu,
you have a responsibility to the world.
Please,
to the world, please.
You should please consider it. I beg you, please.
Well, maybe we will sit down and brainstorm and see how we can.
And don't overthink it.
Just start.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink. It doesn't have to be perfect because people connect with the personality. It's already naturally in you. But you have also worked to
on yourself
to do
for
it.
that.
So and just I think one of the best ways to share is through videos.
Yeah.
Because that way, if people are saying, "Oh, Amonti, I need advice on this,"
go and watch my video.
Go and watch my video. Now, so we tell our friends now.
Go and I've already done some. Go and watch it. Don't be asking me
jam questions. Things like that. So, now common sense. So we really appreciate you people for
us, and you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I always look forward to Saturday evening, like
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One of these, maybe next year or year after, we might be going to Bahamas, so we might fly through Canada and see you guys.
We are here for you.
Yeah.
We will tour you around Toronto.
And you must shop a group.
That's not a problem. Oh, yes. Just know.
The snacks that you were not going to eat in Nigeria.
You will eat them. You will eat it here. That's
another thing to look forward to. That's how we roll.
I think what I would do, I'll drop you guys a message on Instagram, so maybe you can up at some point, then just go brainstorm on how to start this thing if you don't mind.
Sure, no wahala.
Definitely.
No wahala. No wahala.
Anyway, that person can come online, so
there's no other person safe.
Yeah, the only person that we're expecting now back is Samolu to come and give his input on last week's video.
Because we need the end video because nobody else. But we are so happy that good parents called today. That's just Nigeria.
We're very happy because we really wanted you, Samolu and Attorney John to really call into the show today and that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
With a guest, let me call him.
You said what?
Sorry. I think she said Samolu is with
a guest. His friend is here, so let me call him over to take.
We'll just remove you. Then whenever it's ready, you can click the link and come in.
No, we'll just mute her.
Okay, we'll just mute her. Okay, yeah. So far we've been having a good time.
I know many parents here have learned a lot. Amaka, thank you so much for complimenting our parents. I really need to say that our parents were here.
This mommy and daddy of the Common Sense Sisters, the best. So according to Amaka, our president is saying to you, Yo-Yo and Ella, I can't say enough how I am in love.
How in love I am with your parents.
Oh, English.
There's no day.
I see their pictures that I don't smile. And the thing is that Amaka has not physically seen our parents, but she knows a lot of stories about them. While Samolu is coming, let me talk about like a small story on allowing your children to be able to express themselves and being open as a parent or how to deal with it. So there was a time in my adult life, I think very, very, very young. I'm still an adult, right? Very young. So I had finished school and I was applying for jobs. I would get interview. I wasn't getting the job. That's a new experience to me because all my life when I plan, it goes. Like, there was never any stumbling block or whatever. So I was getting really frustrated. I was alone in I think I was in Texas at the time, and I would call my mom, right? And for some reason, because we're close to our mom or something, she has a way of feeling things. I don't know. There's this telepathic connection. So I called my mom and I said, I'm really frustrated and I'm really sad. This is making me depressed. But I think I'd always been complaining at that time. And she's like, you know what? I have to call your dad. So while my parents are in Nigeria, they were in different states because daddy was out working, right? So my mom called my dad, and my dad was in a board meeting. and he picked up the phone. I think that's something very special about our dad. No matter how busy he is, wherever he is, even if he's standing before the highest person, once that phone call comes in, he will pick up the call. So he spoke to my mom and he said, honey, what's going on? And she said, your daughter, Yo-Yo, this and that, this is this. So my dad called me and he spoke to me a bit. He just asked like some few questions. How are you doing today? Have you eaten? I say no. Yeah, has any problem with your apartment? No. How is your baby doing? My car at the time, I said no. That car is fine, everything's okay. I'm just frustrated, life, this, that. Anyways, so he was like, you know what? Let me just cut this meeting and then I will call you. So my dad, after like a few minutes, he called back again and he was on the phone with me. I think it was a video call phone and a video call at the time for over an hour. And my father was talking to me. And he talked about right from conception, when I was born, my primary school, secondary school days, my achievements, my pains, my fears, and how I was very strong. I was very determined child up until now, and shared some life lessons and things that I have to be grateful for because there will be other hurdles in front and how I can handle them. And he made sure that I ate on that video call with him. He made sure of that. He made sure that I was okay. And it's like, you have food, you have water, you have clothing, you have shelter, things that you have to be grateful for. And he spoke to me and I really felt good. And there was this peace. And for me as a child, that's very normal. But when I started having friends, I realized that it's abnormal because they don't have that relationship with their father, to be there for them, to speak to them. So what am I saying in a nutshell? That parents, especially fathers, you have to be available because mothers, most times, they do a lot. Fathers, you have to be available. You have to be there emotionally. You have to be there, not just only financially.
It's your duty. Don't see it as you are helping
some fathers think
your wife.
They have to. It's when they pay school fees that it's over.
No,
you have to be present in their academic life. You have to be present in their spiritual life, their growth, their mental growth. I know that some parents will say, oh, children of nowadays, they are very weak, unlike in our time. In your time, the challenges that children are facing today are very different. Some comparing because some of you were living with your parents. Most children these days, and I'm talking of not just
living with your country.
Yeah, living in your own country where you didn't have to face weather issues.
You didn't have to face racism, different hurdles of life.
You didn't have to face something like economic setback or whatever. You had people to talk with. You had community. Now your children are in a different world where you as a parent,
you have no experience.
You have no idea. But one of the ways you can really support is being intentionally listening to them. Be active listening. Send them those text messages. Tell them that you love them. Use emojis to express your love. When you see them, you hug them. If you're not learning anything in this life, the pandemic should teach you something, that the life is like this. Today you are here, tomorrow you are gone. Write those stories. Teach your children how to journal. Be there with them. Learn from Samolu and learn from Attorney John and Omoti.
And Omoye
has come to contribute as well. We're trying to look at time to see if we can have Samolu.
It's okay if Samolu
back. If Samolu doesn't come back, maybe another time we can actually have the conversation because we've already spent like over 2 hours already. Please, if you haven't hit on the like button, please smash the like button. You have gotten nuggets of wisdom today. It's only commonsensical for you
and to share the video as well.
And share the
video. You can have friends that are probably parents.
Yeah.
And they are struggling with raising their children.
Yeah.
Send them this video. There are parents here that have come to speak. So don't just absorb the knowledge for yourself alone. Share it with other people as well.
And don't allow technology replace the relationship you have with your children. Because some parents these days, they will be on their phone. Or you'll be hearing the kids say, Daddy, I want this, Daddy, I want, but the father is on the phone or the mother is on the phone. Please put away the electronics and spend the quality time. Those are the memories that they have. We have our own memories. On my road trips in Nigeria, Shebi, you're the one that went to the embassy to go and collect visa.
Yeah, when I went to the embassy, my own story here.
Yeah.
My own dad as well as my mom, they are very, very knowledgeable. I remember when I went to get my Nigerian passport renewed at the Ottawa embassy here in Ontario, Canada. You know, when you go to the embassy, there are pictures of all the heads of states from Nigeria. And we're not doing anything there. You know, you spend almost your whole day there. We had flown in from Toronto that morning, hoping to get back home by the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so Daddy just started telling me all the stories from every single head of state in Nigeria. You know, I'm very, very knowledgeable about history.
Yeah.
So I feel like I get my
history
history lessons
from that,
from the traits and that from him. So yeah, he was very, very knowledgeable about that. And for my mom, mommy is always there.
Yeah.
She's always there. Like
overlong.
Sometimes he just wants mommy go on vacation, but
mommy say no.
She is always there. So I would say, as a child, it's better to be choked in the love than to be deficient in it.
Yeah.
So today, as my own advice from a child's perspective from parents, you can have a meeting with your children and ask them, like Omoti says, their children hold them accountable. They hold themselves accountable. Is there anything mommy and daddy have done that is wrong?
No, you don't understand.
That you don't understand. Let me know. Mommy and daddy, they are not perfect. It's okay for your children not to see you as perfect beings, because we're all human beings at the end of the day. Remember that it is through you that they see the world.
Yes.
Very, very, whether it comes with authority or humanity or whatever. So whatever, their children are tabula rasas. When they come into this earth, they don't know anything. It's what you put into them. If you are a tribalistic person, don't transfer your tribalistic bone to your child. Some of you will be abroad. You'll be saying, don't talk to the Yoruba. Don't talk to Igbo. Don't talk to this one from Warri. Don't talk Warri people, they do like this. Igbo people, they do like this. Yoruba people, you are a goat. That's what you are. Sorry to say, but you are goats even treat their
goats is
even better. Okay, so it's even better. But
you are being a very mean parent.
Don't transfer toxic traits. You're welcome, Osaki. You don't transfer toxic traits to your children. Whatever you've learned, you take the good ones and you leave the bad one aside. Your children are human beings. Wisdom, listen to them. An example of somebody that is living her purpose today that we can see is Auntie B of Obodo Ebo TV. She listened to her last born child to open a YouTube channel, and look at her. Not only her is benefiting, but many other people are benefiting from that. Intentional parenting, it does not end. It's from when you give birth to the child to the day somebody dies. It does not end. It goes beyond. And obviously along the line, there will be hiccups. But what is important is that they learn. They know and they understanding boundaries as they grow up. You know? Yeah. So have fun with your family. I don't think someone will be coming today. So have fun with your family, have fun with your kids.
Create those
memories.
Do those videos.
And also you can, if you want to donate, you can.
If you want to support the channel, you can always
have that.
And cash app.
We took out the super sticker.
Yeah.
Okay, like we were saying, because this is we're rounding up now. So remember, teach your children. I'm just summarizing everything that we've said.
Importance of gratitude.
Gratitude.
We learned that one too. I think when it used to be like Boxing Day, which is 26th of December every year, we know as children that if there are things, clothes or whatever it is that we don't use, we have to package them and give to the less privileges. Now, I think when I was in primary school then, and I was just packing it, and my dad said, no, you are going to give this thing to God. So don't package it anyhow. You have to do laundry, you have to clean them, you have to present them like a gift. So I grew up with that mentality that if I have to give, I have to make it very beautiful. I have to make it in such a way that I'm doing it with respect and with love and kindness. That's it. So it is very, very important. So sometimes you might have your kids that like they have some level of ingratitude or whatever. Take them out to go and volunteer in a shelter. Tell them to take their toys. They will carry their toys. They will clean. They will go and give to kids that don't have to. They will learn gratitude, humanity, kindness, accountability, appreciation. Those things are important. You, the parents, be doing it too.
Yeah, like Anthony John said, don't confuse your children. Be consistent. Be consistent in everything that you are doing. If you are also around children, like Omoye has said, you should also be a good example to them as an adult in their life. You know, because we had that example one way. Teach your children about finances. Education, they will not teach you these things in school. Except maybe you're in the finances department. Teach them about finances, things that are beyond education. Invest in your kids.
And let them understand the power of contentment while still striving to be better in life, so that they are not carried away by things of the world. They don't feel everybody on earth faces peer pressure, including parents and all those things. Let them understand peer pressure. Let them understand how
the uniqueness of their identity
and be whole in themselves. So it is very important. As parents, also make sure that you read.
Yes.
Read and research.
And lastly, love your children unconditionally. At the same time, love yourself unconditionally. Know that you are also a human being too, and you will not always get everything right. But what matters is that you're trying.
Yes. Yes.
I think we have done a lot of motivational.
Yes.
So we might not just turn to motivational speakers.
I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a lady of common sense.
We don't claim that we know everything. No,
it's
we don't. The ones that we know that will let you know.
So we thank you all.
If you've reached this point,
thank you.
Hit the like button. Thank you. Remember to subscribe, share the video. Leave a comment. You know. And yeah, that's what we have for today.
That's all we have for today. We hope you all have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Don't forget to stay positive and stay happy. And
may common sense never depart from you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Have
everybody.
a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.